Hi guys, it's Catherine from Kindergarten, and today we are going to talk about flexible seating. I've been doing full-on flexible seating in my classroom for 2 years now, and by full-on, I mean that there are no assigned seats in my class. My kids get to sit wherever they want, whenever they want. I love flexible seating because it's just another way to make my classroom more student-centered. It allows kids to work in the way that's most comfortable for them, and don't we all do better work when we're comfortable? I've seen increased engagement, and I really think it strengthens our classroom community. So in this video, I thought I'd share what I've learned, what worked, what didn't work, what I would and would not buy again, and hopefully if you're thinking about doing flexible seating in your classroom, this might be helpful. I kept one table in my room this year. This is your standard hexagon table, and it has 6 chairs, and this table is full every single day. I have kids that still like to sit in chairs, and so I'm not going to take this table away. It's important that kids have lots of options. That's what flexible seating is all about. So it stays. It's also the table where we can do messy things, and I did not clean it today, so you can see it is gross. It's glue. Nothing too bad, it's just glue. But this is where my art center is, right there. And it's close also. I'm gonna try not to make you dizzy, but it's close to my sink. And so this is where we do really sticky, gooey art projects. So this is where most of the painting happens, most of the gluing happens, is at this table right here. This is my science center. It is a disaster, as always, but the kids love it. But this is a little table I have that I've had since I've been at the school, just a little 2-chair table, and this is another flexible seating option. This is nice because if you can see, it's in a little alcove and it's quiet, and so kids that need to focus a little better sit back here, kids that want to be alone, so it's a nice option as well, a nice smaller option for kids that don't like to work in a big group. This is my teepee. I bought it at Hobby Lobby last summer. I used a coupon, of course, and the kids love the teepee. We use it mostly for reading, and I don't let more than 2 kids go in there. It's just not big enough, but it's a nice, cozy place to do read to self or do read to partner. Sometimes they like to go in there and write, and sometimes they just go in there and play. So the teepee is a really nice flexible seating option. This is a coffee table that used to belong to my mother, and then it belonged to my brother, and now it belongs to me. It is a really nice and sturdy coffee table, but my brother put little slides on the feet, which makes it super easy to slide around, so the kids can move that table so easily. It's not heavy at all. As a matter of fact, it gets moved sometimes when I don't want it to get moved. Originally, I just had them sit on pillows at this table, but they really like to sit up on something. So these little stools are from IKEA. They're super cheap, and what's nice about them is they stack into one nice small stack at the end of the day, so we can pick up for cleaning. If you look closely at this table, it did not look this way when my mother had it in her living room. It has taken some abuse, mostly markers and crowns. But you know what I'm not going to get upset about? Number one, I think it's kind of cute. I think it looks fun, like a table should look in a classroom. But number 2, in a couple of years when there's more marker than wood showing, I'll just put a coat of paint on it, and I still think it will be a super cute table. I still have my classroom library little nook like I always have. Still have those big round pillows that I got at Pier 1, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. They are getting some holes that I'm gonna have to patch, but the kids love to sit on those. They don't sit on them stacked up like that, they take them apart. That is a giant teddy bear. I don't know, I'm gonna put my hand in the frame. It's not really, it's misleading. It is a giant teddy bear. I got that at Valentine's Day at my local grocery store, and the kids love to read with the teddy bear. It's a special treat. I choose kids that are doing a really great job of reading, and they get to read with the teddy bear. Alright, so here we have our assortment of pillows and rugs. That little green chair I got at Walmart a few years ago, it probably won't last much longer. It's already cracked. It's a super, like $5 at the most. And the kids still love it though. Every day someone sits in it to read or write. It's super lightweight. They can pick it up and carry it around. So it was a good buy. I promise you it wasn't more than $5. So then I have this big basket full of pillows. So here's what I've learned about pillows. I'm trying not to be crazy. This is what I've learned about pillows. Make sure that they have removable slip covers. So this is a pillow that does not have a removable cover. That one is from IKEA. It was very, very cheap. It's already flimsy. This one is, and I have several like it. That one's gonna get tossed at the end of the year for sure. So, I mean, it was great. I've had it several years, so it's served its purpose, but you can't wash it and it's really gross. It looks okay in the picture, but when you look close, let me see. You can't tell. It's gross, trust me. So the ones that don't have removable slip covers are definitely gonna get tossed. These are really nice though. Okay, that pillow, as you can see on the side, has a zipper, and so I can take that pillow casing off, wash it, and it's like a brand new pillow. That pillow is also from IKEA. So definitely more expensive than those cheapo pillows, but I think definitely worth it because I can wash it, and the pillow itself is just sturdier and holds up well. So I can see these pillows lasting a few more years. I have a couple different patterns. I have that polka dot pattern. Did I mention they're from IKEA? They are. I have that polka dot pattern, and then I have the stripes, which are really cute and bright and fun. So I will be definitely restocking on pillows this summer, probably at IKEA. The pillows get used all over the room. The kids take them to read with, the kids take them to write with, sometimes they sit at the table with them. I mean, the pillows are multi-function for sure. This is my little basket of rugs. Again, I got these at IKEA. I got this idea from Kindergarten Smorgasbord. He uses all rugs and bath mats in his classroom. And I wasn't sure about it, but the kids use them all the time. I have all this fancy flexible seating, and honestly, a lot of times they just get out a rug and they work on the floor, their choice. I have those little green round ones, and I have these little gray, they're rectangles. I'm sorry, I know I'm making you guys dizzy. They were super cheap. I can't remember exactly how much they were, but I want to say either $2.99 or $3.99 a piece. And again, I can take them home, I wash them in the washing machine, and they hold up really, really well. So here are the famous scoop rockers that everybody has. Definitely one of the best investments that I made. One of the absolute most popular choices during reading workshop to this day. Also during writing workshop, they're very, very popular. And even when we're just watching a video. So the scoop rockers, I highly recommend. Very inexpensive, so a good investment. The basket, again, they love the scoop rockers. They love the basket more. The basket that the pillows came in, they love that as well. So launder baskets, I might buy a few more this summer because the kids really, really like to sit in them. If they're big, one kid will fit. If they're small, two kids will fit. For read to partner, it's pretty cute. Here is another flexible seating area that I have. These little square tables are from IKEA. So I've had them in my classroom for 1 year now. They were $9.99 a piece. They've held up pretty well. You can start to see, I mean, you can definitely, they're cheap. They're veneer, and you can start to see where they're starting to, the veneer is starting to peel off here a little bit. I'm going to try to do some repairs this summer and glue it back down. This one is funky. You can't twist it back, but if you twist it to be straight this way, it's too loose. That kind of makes me crazy. And because it is veneer, you can see it's starting to, well, that one's, I have a really flappy one. Let me find it. Where's the really, oh, there it is. Okay. See. So I'm just going to glue that back this summer. I hope to I'll get another year out of them. You know, they weren't a big investment, 40 bucks for all four. If I get 2 more years, not even better. They clean up pretty well. They get a couple little dings and scratches in them, but for the most part, they've held up pretty well. And they're super lightweight, so the kids can take them apart and put them back together again. So again, they are the very definition of flexible. For sitting on, I bought these little cushions at IKEA. I bought them because they were super cheap. They're meant to go on a chair, and they had ties on them. Right here, I kept the ties off. These were not super efficient. You have to, the kids, in order to be comfortable, again, they had to double them up to sit on them. So that makes them less cheap because you have to buy twice as many. They get really dirty. They're not washable, and they're navy blue, so the dust, see, that one has a spill on it. I don't want to know what it is. So I will not buy those again. Oh, in the little nooks and crannies, all the sand from the playground and dirt gets in them. Gross. So I will not buy those again. Those I will definitely be tossing. I like to have rugs to define my little areas, and I got lucky and got these little rugs at my grocery store again, H-E-B, for my Texas friends. I got these at H-E-B in their back to school college area, and they were $19.99 a piece, so I splurged and bought them. I have 3 of them. I have one here, I have one here. It just kind of defines an area. I like it. And one back in my science area. Here is my kidney table in the same place that it was last year. This is my teacher table, so this is where I call small groups. And as long as I'm not meeting with a small group, if I am out and about in the classroom, kids can sit here. I don't care. That's, again, flexible. So they like to sit on these stools. These are actually stools. They are not trash cans. They are from IKEA, and they're probably 9 years old now. But man, are they indestructible. And they were $5 a piece, I'm sure. But they don't carry them anymore. Sorry. Kids really do like to work on the floor, so I have a couple other options I tried this year. These are the super cheap little desks, little lap desks. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. And again, I get everything on sale there or use a coupon. I can't remember how much they were, but they were not expensive. I'm going to show you my foot because they're super flimsy. So I was worried because they are so flimsy. I thought there's no way those are going to work. But you know what? They did. Now they've got crowns all over them, but that's just what happens when kindergartners work. They get crowns on things. Again, not going to stress about it. And so they were a good investment. I will probably buy a few more of those this summer. The kids really like them. They use them a lot. And they stack nicely. If I get a bunch more, again for storage, they'll stack really nicely. Then another one, I got these at Hobby Lobby as well. They were more expensive. I'm going to throw one on the floor on my desk so you can see it. They have fabric here and they're plastic here. And the kids mostly use them on the floor though. They didn't actually use them on their laps, even though they're lap desks. They were expensive, but again, I always used a coupon. So I never paid full price. You buy things slowly over the summer. When you've got your plan and you know what you're gonna do, you go in once a day and use that coupon if you have to. I have a hobby, it'll be 5 minutes for me, so it's easy. And they store right here. Here's our box of clipboards. These clipboards get used every single day. Kids like to work on the floor, or they like to work in these chairs, and so they use a clipboard when they're using those chairs. So clipboards, I have had these clipboards for years, but definitely a good investment. These are my big, cushy Target chairs. When I first started planning for my flexible seating last year, I had visions of little areas, little coffee shop areas where I'd have the 2 chairs facing each other, and I quickly learned that, number one, you have to have traffic patterns in your classroom, so you can't have all these cute little areas. You have to kind of put furniture in a way that makes it possible for, you know, kids to walk around and do things. So, and then no matter how I arranged the furniture, the kids would rearrange it in a way that they wanted to anyway. So this is kind of what it's ended up with this year, but it changes. I mean, tomorrow, when they clean up, it might look different than this. They might put it in a different area. They might have both blue chairs over on that side and all 4 of these little gray stools over here. I let the kids clean up at night, or actually it's in the morning when they take them down, and they arrange them in different ways. So these, again, truly flexible. These things get moved all over the classroom. They turn them, they sit a lot, and this is something I never expected or never planned. But they like to sit on those gray stools, and they like to work here at this shelf. And they do the same thing over here. They sit on the gray stools and they work here on this green bench. And that is something that I never planned or anticipated. And then they just like to sit in the blue chairs. They do everything. They read in them, but they also like to get clipboards and any kind of writing they do in them as well. So I had to really let go of the preconceived notions that I had about how the kids would use the seating, because it's not what they did. And I'm okay with that now. At first I was like, no, that's not what I want you to do with that. But you have to let that go, because if you don't, then it's not flexible. And the whole point is to be flexible. So the chairs I got at Target. I love them. Navy's my color, so I love the navy, but oh my gosh, does dust and dirt show up on them so badly. We have sand on our playground, so it's just, they're always, again, they look good in the picture, but if you could see them up close, they're pretty dirty. But the great thing about it is oh, there it is right there. This is a zipper. So you can see right there, there's a good picture of the dust. They have a zipper. So over the summer, I will unzip that slip cover, take it home, wash it, and it'll be good as new. They have held up very well. They were not cheap. I have 2 of them. I have one here and one there. I used a gift card for one. So I only paid like 20 bucks after I used the gift card. I want to say they were $75. They were in the kids' little furniture area. The other one though, I happened to get, it doesn't match exactly, but I happened to get when it was on clearance. So I got it for 40 bucks, $39.99. I wasn't supposed to, they had it priced wrong. And I wasn't, and I told the cashier that after I said, oh, it's supposed to be $39.99. And he went and checked on it. It's like, well, no, it's a different one. I'm like, oh, okay, then I won't get it right now. It's like, oh, no, it's okay. It's our mistake. That's where it was. And so he gave me the price. I did not fight for it. He gave it to me. So I got that one for $39.99. These, again, are from Target. I bet they will have them again this year. These are in the back to school college area. They had some really nice ones in the home section that were twice as much. I bought them originally and thought, no, that is ridiculous. So I took them back and I got these instead. They were $16.99, and they do open up and have storage. Let's see what's in here. Good, nothing, because I really tried to teach my kids not to put anything in them. I don't want to put stuff in them because I had a friend that had these a few years ago and she put books in them, and I really do think it made them fall apart sooner. And I just don't want a bunch of, crap in there. So I've taught them to not turn them into trash cans. And if you put too much stuff in them, it will make them heavy and kids won't be able to move them around. And the whole point is for them to be flexible and for the kids to be able to move them around. They're ultra suede. they definitely have some spots and some stains, so I'm going to try to clean them up. They've held up pretty well. We'll see what I can do with them. I still kept a great big area in the middle of my room for our circle time, and that's really important to me because it's kindergarten and we do a lot of read alouds, we do a lot of mini lessons, we have our little pull down right there, our screen. We do a lot of PowerPoints and things on the projector, so it's important to have a gathering area. And then having this wide open space, and it's pretty big, having this wide open space leaves plenty of room for them to bring their lap desks and their clipboards if they want to. They take them and they squirrel away in little nooks and crannies as well, and that's fine. Back there behind my desk is one of their favorite places to go when they want to be alone, when they need some quiet time. Right here. I've even found them sometimes under my desk, but I always pull them out. But this is a little popular area over here because they can hide. Not hide, I know where they are. Important to know where they are. But where they can have some alone time. So here are the rules for flexible seating in my classroom. When I first started to think about flexible seating, I came up with a whole list of rules and expectations, and I had different rules for different areas, and I figured out pretty quickly that the best thing to do is just keep it simple. And so we have 4 basic expectations that you have to follow in this classroom. Number 1, choose a spot that helps you do your best work. And so it's up to the kids, and they learn pretty quickly where they work the best. Some kids sit in the same spot every single day. Some kids mix it up and move all over the classroom, but they have to really think about what they're going to be doing and where the best spot for them to do that particular thing is. Number 2, super important, if that spot is not helping you do your best work, move. I leave it up to the kids. I really wanted them to understand when the spot was not working for them so they could move themselves, and for the most part it worked. It's kindergarten, I had to move some kids for sure, but if you train them enough and you teach them enough, they figure out pretty quickly where they're going to do their best work. And then I give them chances, but if in the end, if they are not doing their best work, if they're playing around, if they're distracting others, then the power moves to me, and then I get to choose where they sit, which is not fun. Number 3, respect and take care of our classroom. Most of us that are doing flexible seating are spending our own money right now, and it's a lot of money when you add it all up. So kids need to learn how to take care of things. When Kinder started at the very beginning of the year, and these little baby 5-year-olds came in the room, they started immediately jumping on the furniture and mistreating it, and I laid the law down pretty quickly. You know, if you would not treat your furniture that way at home, then you can't treat our furniture at school that way. And here we are at the end of the year, and I would say that they take more pride in this classroom than I do. They love it, they take care of it. So if you set those expectations and you reinforce them, they will learn it. And then number 4, this has been the hardest thing, clean up your work area. Flexible seating, it's just not contained. It's a messy. Kids take supplies all over the room because that's what I've allowed them to do. So I find pencils and erasers and crayons in the weirdest spots. I never would have found them in those spots before I did flexible seating. So I've really had to train them to pull chairs out, to lift up the rugs, to look for things. And I've had to just kind of chill out a little bit about it, because when you have flexible seating and kids are busy and you're doing you're moving from activity to activity, it's going to get messy sometimes. So I just have to deal with it. So another challenge for flexible seating this year were supplies and how to distribute supplies, and it was definitely a learning curve. So how I do it is I still believe very strongly in community supplies. So I have lots of large buckets that have everything they need: their crowns, their pencils, their glues, their scissors, their space sticks. I have several of those. This one kind of moves around, it goes to the floor a lot. Then on every big work area, we have another one. There's one there, there's one over on that table, and there's one here. So we have the 4 main buckets full of supplies. And then I have all these little mini buckets too. And so these mini buckets get taken all over the room. So they can be for 1 or 2 kids. They share them. And again, when we're really busy doing something, there are supplies all over this room. As long as they get picked up in the end, I don't care. This is the main place where we come back and we get our sharp pencils here. We dump our broken pencils. I have extra glues down here. That's a big thing. Extra glues, our special crowns, and extra markers. So when they need supplies, this is where they come and get them. So one thing I've really had to think about with my flexible seating is traffic patterns, because kids have supplies that they need to get. So I always make sure that I think about the areas the kids need to get to most. So for instance, the writing center where they get their writing supplies and their writing folders, or their book boxes, or the books that they choose for their book boxes. You know, they have to be able to get in and out easily. We have a rule. This is the indoor here, and then they go around and they come out over here, which is the outdoor. So they go in the indoor over here, get their book box, and come out the outdoor over here. I try to spread supplies out so you don't have all the kids going to one area. So I have clipboards here, and then across the room over here we have the pillows and the rugs, and then way on the other side of the room is where we have the supply station and the lap desks you can see tucked in over there. So I try to take the areas I know the kids are going to have to go to get things, and spread them out so you don't have mass traffic jams. So I'm not gonna lie, when you first start flexible seating, it can be a little terrifying. You're giving up a lot of control and you're giving it to a bunch of kids, but just take a deep breath, it's gonna be okay. On day 1, I start the kids at the different table areas. I still don't tell them where they have to sit, I let them choose. But I explain to them that in my class they can sit wherever they want as long as they're working hard and they're following our classroom expectations. On day 2, I might introduce the floor as a seating option and show them the lap desks and the clipboards. And at this point, I would lay down the expectations for using those things. This is how you use them, this is where you keep them, this is how we treat them, and so on. And I would just continue that way, each day introducing a different seating area. Obviously, I'm going to start with the more basic areas first and then move into the funner things like the teepee. And every time I introduce something new, I just make sure I clearly lay down the expectations for those seating areas. So now for my tips and tricks. I would start by making a plan. Before you go out and spend a bunch of money, make a list of the different kinds of flexible seating you want in your classroom. Make sure that you have a variety of different kinds of seating so your kids have options. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was shopping was I got overly enthusiastic and I bought way too much stuff, and I just did not have room in my classroom for all of it. By the way, the first year I did flexible seating, I did not have any fancy wobble stools or anything like that. You can see in this video that I did end up getting some bouncy chairs, and I got them from a grant on Donors Choose. Set a budget and stick to it. Shop sales and use coupons. One of my favorite places to shop for flexible seating is on Facebook in the local buy and sell pages. And don't forget Donors Choose. It is an absolutely fantastic resource if you've never used it. Be really practical when choosing your flexible seating. Don't just choose things because they're cute. Make sure you choose things that are sturdy and will hold up well. Make sure you choose things that will clean easily and that will store and stack easily. And choose things that can be used in different ways. And remember, cheapest is not always the best. And the biggest tip of all is just to be flexible. You know, flexible seating is not about the furniture. It's about giving kids the freedom to choose where and how they work. You know, as long as they're being safe and respectful and working hard, who cares if they're working standing up or laying down or with a friend or by themselves? Let them choose how they work. You know, the more freedom I give kids, the more responsibility I expect out of them. And every time I give them more freedom, I feel like they rise to the occasion. They can do this. I hope that this video has maybe inspired you to try flexible seating in your own classroom. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. You can also check out my Instagram at kindergarten, and make sure you check out my blog, kindergarten.com. Thanks, and see you soon.